Before, when you go on set, how you know you're on set, you hear this loud voiced guy back in the day, but now you have women and everybody doing it. When they shout action and the actors begin to act and the cameras begin to record.
Yeah.
And that means that you're telling the story and you're recording the action. However, the idea behind this book is before you say action, the things you need to put in place before you say action. Before I sat on this table, you must have set your mixers, your online, whatever.
Yes.
You put everything in order before you now say, Chris, sit down and let's have a chat. If you're not recording or if you're not transmitting, then we're totally wasting our time here. So pretty much before it's actually telling you what you need to do before you say, Chris, sit down and answer my questions. Are the recorders recording? Are the streamers streaming? Are the computers working? Is everything put? Is the lights on? This was dark when I got in here.
Yeah.
So it talks about the things that need to be put in place, and then we now mention 7 things that need to be put in place, 7 M's, and I want to mention them as we go forward. The first is the motive, which you just asked me about. The second is manuscript. Motive means motive, why you're doing stuff. Manuscript is the story. The third is money, which makes the world go round, as they say. The fourth is manpower. The people, they say it takes a village to make a film.
Yes.
The fifth one is management. You need to manage your logistics and your vendors and all of that. The sixth one is modus operandi, which means mode of operation, which means strategy. You need to be strategic about your storytelling. And the final one is the market. There is no film without an audience, no story without an audience. So back to motive. The book is teaching us that there are 3 major reasons why people tell stories.
Okay.
1 is to make money, 2 is to make a name, and 3 is to make an impact. So first is to make money.
Okay.
First to make money, yes, profit. So people want to tell stories. You see people make stories that are very funny, very slapstick, and you're wondering, is he really a fool? Some people sit down thinking that Aki and Papa, for example, are just foolish children running up and down. They are very matured. I traveled to Uganda recently to release this book, and he came as a guest on the project, and he came with his own book. The guy had written a book. I kept looking at the book and looking at him like, Papa wrote a book.
Are you serious?
He wrote a book, inspirational book.
Wow.
101 things that has inspired him in growing up. And the guy is so serious, very deliberate, very focused. But you see him on TV doing all those his memes, you think he's just going to be laughing forever. He's the most serious person you will need to know. But people don't understand that is what people want to buy.
Yes.
So people that made those things made them to make money. So we make films to make money. And the other one is I also make films because we want to make a name. For example, I don't think I'd have met Swat if I wasn't a filmmaker.
Yeah.
People, I would have to take excuse, book an appointment. But I said, I made this film, I made it. They say, it's interesting. Bring him here. So from my little village in Kano, I'm here sitting down talking to a superstar like you because I made a film.
You are the superstar here, sir. Please, I beg to differ.
And the film has made a name. So some people do that because we go to festivals around the world.
Yeah.
You see some people get nominated. Mo was just nominated recently on the Oscars committee, on the Emmys committee. We had the ones that when Ramsey was mentioned on the Oscars committee. Mommy Water got in Sundance Award. So we've got several recognitions that have gone on publicly. Recently, what's her name? Jennifer was on the news for being the highest grossing film ever in Hollywood. Those things are recognition. So if you didn't take her seriously, you take her seriously now. Investors will say, hey, what's she selling? We need to buy from her. And that is recognition. Then the third is now people have messages.
Yes.
People want to pass messages, maybe spiritual, non-spiritual, political. I've seen where I like talking about Idi Amin's story and how the Westerners had told the story in a way that we all think that the man actually was a vampire eating flesh, and the man only stood against what the whites stood against. And now they try to dehumanize him so that we hate him and lose everything he stands for, or he stood for. So it shows you how powerful. If I tell you again about how they worked on our mindset, about with Superman, Spider-Man, what are the colors of these superheroes? Blue, red, and black. What is the flag of America? Blue, red, and black. So you think that when you see that flag, it becomes the Superman, the Spider-Man, the Captain America. So they give you the impression that the President of America cannot die. So they use film to mentor and reconfigure our mentality. So it shows you how films can also pass messages across. And there's more in the book, but I can't say all in this one.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Just to give you a glimpse, you guys will tell you at the end of the day where you can get a copy of your book, just in case you're also having that, desire to understand what it takes before you delve into that field, because I know there are a lot of filmmakers out there in the making. Okay, so do we go on to manuscript, chapter 2?
Yes, let's go.
All right. By the way, guys, we're streaming live on social media. You can join our YouTube, Facebook page, and on your personal handle too.
Yes, Chris Odeh.
Okay, Chris Odeh.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
So the second chapter is manuscript. A lot of times people just think that it's about making a film, but you see, you watch some films and you are drawn into them. Some films, you're wondering, what am I watching here?
Exactly.
Because the film is a platform where stories are told. The major thing about film is a story. So before you put the camera angles and get the best stars and get the best lights? Do you even have a story? The films we remember from growing up, like Home Alone, like Problem Child, like Sound of Music, were very beautiful stories. You know, Nun, who had internal crisis, meets a captain, a widower, and falls in love with him, and she's conflicted, and all of that. It's a beautiful story. And now we need to understand that before you make a film, you have to have a story. A lot of people want to cover up with putting stars in their films, making the film so popular. But when people walk into that cinema or log in on that Netflix app, and it doesn't excite them for the next 3 minutes, they're going to switch to something else.
Exactly.
So you need to understand that paramount is the story. In the book, I wrote something, I quoted the guy, Kaisi, one of the top Instagram influencers, saying, story is king, every other thing is subordinate. Story is the king, every other thing is a slave. If your story is bad, your film is bad, your picture is bad, your everything is bad. So you need to spend time working out your story. And the story must have multiple parts. It's a technology. It's not just beautiful story. You have to start in a particular way. You have to have a climax. You have to have a resolution. You have to have different. If you're telling the story for streaming, you know that the person has 2 minutes of your time. If you don't hit the nail on the head, it's going to move to the next film.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah, but the cinema is different because you've paid maybe 10K, 5K, enter an Uber to the cinema, so you are a bit more patient. My money won't waste. So you can't go back and say, I don't want to watch Nigeria if I want to watch Abuja. You can't change your mind. But in this, at home on African Magic or on Iroko or anywhere, you can switch all your channels. But that is different from. So you have to understand the platform you're taking your film to and understand that, very importantly, your audience, don't underestimate your audience. They're intelligent people. They are paying money to be entertained. So you have to keep that in mind and make sure that the major ingredient in your film is the story. So manuscript teaches you how to make a story important. I also teach this principle that, you know, when you open your tap in the house and the water coming out is dirty, you don't close the tap. You leave it open for the dirty water to run out. So ideas come like that. You get the first idea, it's exciting you, but that's not the best idea. Let that one pour out and keep thinking till you get the original concentrated one. So don't be too fast to tell a story. Don't think of a story in the morning and release the film in the evening. You know, you need to understand that you have to pass the story through process. Just like wine. You extract the juice, you wait for a bit for it to ferment and become very tasty and better. Just like scotch. The older the scotch, the more expensive it is. So it's story. The longer you stay with your story, the richer your story can become. So there are more again in the book. So let's just go get the book.
All right, I like this. That's it. Go get the book. We'll let you know how at the end. Money is up next. I know you put it out there, but let's expand on this a bit.
Yeah. So yes, money.
That's chapter 3 now.
Should I talk about money? Everybody knows everything about money. But people think when they talk about money, people always think about cash. I think money is value. For example, how much am I going to pay you for you to talk about this book like this? That could be worth your time. But now you feel like, okay, if I can talk to this guy, he can give me content. If I talk to Hash, he can give me a platform. We're exchanging value on this table. That is money there. A lot of people tell me, you know, I'm spiritual, and there's something that the Bible says. It says that to him that doesn't have, even that which he has,
will be taken away from
I'm like, you just say he doesn't have, then you say that which he has. That means nobody really doesn't have anything. So you might be broke in your pocket, but you've got that friend, you've got that access to that room, you've got access to that house, you have that mind, can you value what you have, your social capital? You want to tell a story and all you're doing is thinking about what money you have. But why don't you tell a story about Nigeria Info? If you talk to your bosses here, they might allow you to tell the story here because you're a staff.
Yeah.
But you go talk a story about a railway station that went wrong, you don't know a railway worker, you don't know a train owner. So think within your value. And I always teach this. A creative producer produces films that are worth more than it cost them. When you watch movies, I made a movie called Living in Bondage with my mentor, Steve Lucas. And most of the big things in that film, we were able to broker deals to get them for almost free or cheap.
Wow.
So people think that it's about spending money. They have money, that's why their film is big. No. They are creative about their decision making. They look for how to exchange value with people and say, can I use your station and you give me this? Can I do this and you give me this? Can I put your car in my film and you do this? So money, as much as you think money is cash, there's cash money and there's value.
Value also.
So people need to think beyond because cash will limit you. Big dreams have died because of lack of cash. So before you think about cash, I always teach something I said to people. I don't know if I should say this here. First of all, try to get it free. If you can't get it free, try to borrow it. If you can't borrow it, try to steal it. If you can't steal it, try to get it cheap. If you can't get it cheap, then buy it. So why I said steal now? This is you go steal someone's property.
Yeah,
but
so
I was shooting something in Jabi in 2009, and the people said we have to pay them 1 million naira to shoot Agberos in Jabi. So we got to a Kakena Pep, punch out the hole in the Kakena, put our camera there, and we're driving slowly in the street and recording these people.
Simple.
We didn't show their faces, show their back, and we got our picture. I couldn't afford to pay them then. Now I can pay them maybe now, but then I couldn't pay them. But I had to think of a creative way to get what I wanted without getting into trouble and not losing the money I don't have. So think outside the box. Or
you know how they
think as
say,
if there was no
think.
box.
That's interesting. Okay, so guys, I hope you get it now, because I mean, honestly, I've heard a whole lot of people, I want to do this, no money, and always people think about fiscal cash. That's a whole lot of Nigerians.
Limiting.
Honestly, it's very limiting. But I hope you guys have just gotten a little insight into that. Now, the 4th chapter is on manpower. Talk to us about manpower.
Manpower. There's a very popular saying that says it takes a village to make a film. People, no matter how the ideas you have in your head, you can't execute it alone. You need a director of photography.
Okay.
You need different people. You need the actors. And a lot of times people think that because you pay these people, you have gotten everything you want from them. You see, there's something Bob Marley said. He said, if all you have is money, then you're poor. You know, so I come and I say, Swat, I need to be in my movie. It's a beautiful movie. I'm going to give you 10 million naira. You're going to come and give me 10 million naira performance. But if I tell you, I say, what, there's this movie we need to tell. I don't know where you're from. Where are you from?
I'm from Southern Kaduna.
Southern Kaduna. So I say, maybe in Kagoro or somewhere, there's this beautiful story about maybe Lekwat. Want to tell the story. And because you're passionate about the topic, no matter what I offer, you're going to bring in more on the table. So I sell the vision to you. I get you to have what they call ownership. So beyond, but people just come and say, I paid you now, do your work and get out. You get, it's limited. What you get from that person is limited. One time I had an experience with the camera guy. I was going to hire him for a project. He told me one other lady had hired him. Yeah. But she had not paid or confirmed the date, but he cannot risk her one. I said, but I'm about to give you money here. Take my money. He said, no, that if she cancels before he will take my money. I said, why? He said, the way she treats them on set. It's a popular lady. She called Kemi Adetiba. That the way she feeds them. This is a grown man. But he just likes the value
she
feels. She pays her money when due. She treats them nicely like human beings. And he said to himself, whenever she has a job, her job first, another job second. Regardless what I was offering him, how I was offering him. And though I was also feel bad, but when he left, I was like, that's a good thing I want people to say about me. I want people to hear that I'm doing a project and feel like Chris would. So treating people nicely and understanding that as a producer, as a filmmaker, you're a leader of a pack. People are going to look, because filmmaking in Nigeria is crisis management. Something will go wrong. There's traffic, there's Agbe Road, there's something burning, there's power surge, name it. It's not like making films in America. There's one neighbor that has a big generator, there's a school that's shouting behind the scene. So you're dealing with so many issues that people that will take your money and not show up. So you need to be a very visionary leader and understand that everybody's watching you to get the energy to align themselves. What am I saying? We need to approach filmmaking from a leadership perspective. So not just hiring people with money, but making sure that they believe in your vision, that's one. And two, find people you have chemistry with. Some people are good, but not good with you. Some people are very good on their own, but when you bring them to you, the energy level just doesn't match. And so you're working against each other, and it shows in the film. You can't be telling a comedy film, and the set is so moody and gloomy. It will show in the film. Because laughter is from the heart. So when everybody's angry, I say, actually, I say, I can tell this is a fake laughter. So you need to understand that all of this. So the people you bring into your premise, into your set, into your environment is very key. So you have to select them carefully. That's manpower.
All right. Interesting one. Really, I'm enjoying this. Let's move on to modus operandi. I think we'll take that before we may get a quick commercial. So, yeah. Chapter 5.
So people think they can tell beautiful stories without being creative. I think the way you go about your story is very, very important. When you make filmmaking your business, sometimes you want to feel like you should have a template. When they say, I want to shoot Neka, bring out a file. I say, let's shoot it. Let's shoot Jaguar, you bring out the fire. You see, the way you shoot Anaki and Popo, which is a very funny story.
Yes, it's funny.
It's different from the way you shoot a rattlesnake, which is a story about a boy who fell for crime and his life went down and all of that. So you see, you can't approach all the films in the same way. So you need to be very strategic. And strategic means you have to be very deliberate. Everything must be towards something, towards an end. You can't just do things because that's the way it's done. You can't just work out of templates. So people think that filmmaking is creating stories, but not through creative processes. Like I said something earlier, if I'm going to think about an idea on a film I want to make now, ask myself a question: what access do I have right now? What opportunities do I have?
Yeah.
What can make my storytelling easier? Am I going to look for things I don't have and put in the story? Am I going to look for things that I have access to and put in the story? So see, these are very, very important elements that one has to sit down. So you need to strategically think about it. Who needs this film? You're about to release a film. So Funkakidele release a Tribe Called Judah. You're releasing a Tribe Called Ruben the next week. People are going to call you a copycat. So Americans do Spider-Man, you now do your own Ant-Man. People are going to call you a copycat. Yeah. So you need to understand that there's a way the audience works. And now it's different because there's social media, so everything, the world is a global village. So you need to research. This thing I'm about to do, has it been done before? How was it done? What is the better way of doing? They used to tell us back in school that if you're going to copy something, I'm an engineer by training, and they say if you're going to recreate something someone has created, make sure you do a better version of it. Do a better version of it. Do a better version of it. Innovation. So modus operandi teaches you to internalize before you step out. To ask yourself, what am I meant to do? How can I be deliberate about it? How can I be strategic about it? And how can I make it different from all the others?
All right. Interesting. We are looking and reviewing at the book Before You Say Action by Chris Odeh, who's live with us in the studio. We'll take a quick break and then we'll come right back to finish reviewing the last 3 chapters and also open up the lines to hear your comments and your thoughts with us. Stay with us.
Audio Jungle.
Hi everyone, my name is Swat. That's the name my father gave me, but you can always call me Her Vocal Majesty. I'm the host of The Sunny Side on 95.1 Nigeria Info. It takes place every weekday, noon to 3 p.m., where we get to have all the lovely contemporary conversations. If your days are normally long and gloomy, well, not anymore, because I'm here to make it all bright and sunny for you. So join me. It's an invitation. You don't want to miss out.
Connection established.
This is Nigeria Info.
Movie makers to movie makers and everyone within that industry, things you need to know, very basic and key things you have to put into consideration, before you delve into that journey of movie making. We've looked at the first chapter titled Motive. He has given an explanation or an insight into it, but you need to get the book to have a full grasp of, the message fully there. Manuscript, money, manpower, and we just finished reviewing Modus Operandi, which is the 5th chapter. So we move on to the next chapter, which is management. Chris, thank you so much for coming over again. Right, so let's take on chapter 6. Yes.
So in this book I don't think that copy you have has that, but there's a way we do the chapters where we draw like a diagram to do the chapter. So see this.
Oh,
So
okay.
you see that there is a.
That's interesting.
So the guy is pitching something to his clients, talking about the hotels, the flights, the feeding. Then on the table there's a devil with a pitchfork. And on the t-shirt is written logistics.
Wow.
So this picture is supposed to show you that you're planning a lot of things, but logistics will mess you up. Have you seen that commercial where somebody's doing a wedding and the caterer is still in traffic?
Yes.
Or the one I saw again on Instagram, the person said, "Hey madam, where's the food?" And I said, "It's your wedding today." Today. So
Definitely.
it can be chaotic. So, and because you're making a film with 100 people, sometimes 300 extras, sometimes 50 actors, and all of that, it becomes very tricky when you can't put your logistics together. Because you have to, what's the word now? You have to plan. So someone asked me, my son, you know, when these kids begin to grow, they begin to get very intelligent. So he asked me, what do I really need to do to be a good filmmaker? I said, you might need to be good at everything. Because you need to be able to research, you need to be able to have knowledge, you have to be able to be a good planner, event planner, project manager, a creative. Because different things demand you to be different things at different points. And because you want your film to be perfect, you want it to look at least the best it can look, you want to be able to put all of those things. And logistics always comes in to become the trouble. You're ready to shoot a film, one actor is stuck in traffic, can mess your whole day. Or you're about to shoot and one costume, maybe they forgot the earrings and there's continuity issues, can mess up the whole day. So you need to give time. Management, you have to understand project management, time management, people management. Because now, give an example, your actor shows up late. Now, if you insult that actor, the actor's going to go into your film looking angry and not be able to perform. And you freeze the frame, and that's a bad film. So how do you correct that actor and not lose your film? You just imagine you come to and your boss tells you, so as you're late again, you're just an incompetent person. You're going to be moody all the time. You're going to be trying to... And you're human beings, we're emotional machines. We can't overlook that. You know, so you need to do a lot of human management, personnel management, everything management to be able to have a good film to come out.
Interesting. That's very, very true. Okay, what about the market? I always get interested in listening to this part because I wonder how you guys just, carry on with this marketing and all of that. And I'm really interested in this. So that's chapter 7. Market, yes.
Final M, market. So again, I say the 7M. So market, I grew up in the north. I grew up in Kano, and we used to do a lot of folktale storytelling. Grandma, uncles, and when they come out, they'll do stuff. They'll do a chant called I can't remember the Hausa one anymore, but storyteller. Once upon a time. And I keep wondering, why do you have to chant that before you start telling me stories? They want to be sure you're listening. You need to know that they've got your audience, because a storyteller without an audience is just wasting his time or her time. So bring it to what we're talking about today. Every film has a market. And you need to know who the market is targeted at.
Yeah.
Baby's Day Out is a story about a baby, but it's not a story for babies. Babies who find the Baby's Day Out.
Yeah.
When I watch all those funny Teletubbies and all of that, they don't understand what that baby was doing in that film. So the fact that the film has a baby inside doesn't mean the film is about babies. And I say to people, if you want to sell diapers, who uses diapers? Babies. Who do you sell it to? Mothers.
Mothers, yes.
So I see if we're going to make a rom-com. How do you make a rom-com sell? You make a rom-com and you put a beautiful girl there. It might not sell, except you have a hunk. And I'll tell you how it works. You make a rom-com, you put a hunk, a handsome guy, carved guy. Now he's going to get the girls excited. And the girls are going to get their sugar daddies to bring them to the cinema to watch that. This is not me endorsing sugar daddy. So
yes.
You need to understand that the dynamics of the market is very different. You need to know who is paying, who's consuming, and who needs it. You need to look at all of those dynamics. But back to what I'm saying, every film has its own market. Everything cannot be for everybody. There are films you make that you can't have a film that is against someone's belief or religion and expect the person to also put in money in the film. Because you're marketing 3 people. You're marketing people that will invest in your film. You're marketing people that will support your film. And you're marketing people that will buy your film. So I can't come to you and know that maybe you are a woman, you're a feminist, and I'm telling you a story about a chauvinistic story about a man who mistreats women, and I expect you to put your money there. You're going to tell me, Chris, get out of my office. So I need to look at who I'm marketing to know what kind of story I'm marketing to the person. I also don't want to... You can't make a film about religion in Nigeria. I don't think you're at a risk.
Really?
It's a sensitive space in Nigeria. Whether it's
exactly.
Catholic, Muslim, whatever. It's sensitive. You have to be very, very careful. Recently I'm about to do a story about a war that happened in Nigeria. And I told my writer, I don't want the story about the war. I want the story about the impact of the war on a person. Because we focus more on the people dying. But if you watch Hotel Rwanda, it wasn't about the genocide. It was about a man, a Tutsi man, married to the other woman. Hutu woman, thank you. So it takes away our mind from the war and the numbers. So because why they're telling me 7 million people have died in the war, Can you tell me somebody's grandmother just died? Somebody's sister just died. Somebody's daughter just died. That changes the whole narrative of the war.
From numbers to a person. Yes.
And that's what we filmmakers are supposed to do. So you need to understand how to tell your story and how your market affects your story.
Yes.
Then also, before you make a film, know where you're taking your film to. I told you earlier, if you're putting a film in cinema, you've got 15 minutes to make a point. If you're telling the film on YouTube or Netflix, you have 2 to 3 minutes to make a point. Because the people that are there have tons of options. Tons of options. So you need to understand where you're taking your film to help you guide how you tell your film. Then now finally is while you're going on the journey of telling your story, get your distributors involved on time. Because I've seen beautiful films that nobody got to see. And there are people who are distributors who are meant to help you channel your film, take your film to the right spaces, the right festivals, the right cinemas, the right distribution channels. So when you are still getting an idea, go pitch it to someone that will help you take you there. Because it's just like Coca-Cola or whoever, sorry, I don't know if I'm supposed to call brands. You can't just be pouring out chemicals into bottles. You need to have a distributing channel that will take those bottles to the shops where those things can be bought. So if you make the best content, like the best film I've ever made in my life was the most poorly distributed film I've ever made. So people didn't get to watch it.
Oh, really?
So it's painful because it's a beautiful film, but it's not beautiful because nobody saw it to admire it. So it's just me watching with my whole small community saying, oh, beautiful film, beautiful film. But so you need to be able to know where your film needs to go to get the right people to help you to take it there. And most importantly, don't think about the market after you've made the film. Think about the market while you're creating the film. So you don't make a mistake.
But maybe this is outside the book. I don't know if you address this in the book, but then how do you know a quality and a good distributor or marketer for your movies? Because some people might just say, well, this is what we do, and maybe because they've talked so convincingly, how do you determine that? So
I look at your pedigree, what you've done with films like mine, because some people are good distributors when it comes to comedy, not necessarily good distributors of horror.
Okay.
So I want to see how you've treated the genre, my genre, or my kind of film before. That's one. Then, but the most important part is how you buy into my vision. I'm very big in ownership. If this book was written by someone and you call me and you say, question, I'll say, hang on, please. Your question is page 6. So you see here, this book was written with me walking down the streets in where I stay on the streets every day and just speaking to my earpiece and speaking to my recording and getting my thoughts out. So every page is like me talking to myself. So you can't doubt if it's my content. But if you're someone like, say, Chris, it's been a while in this business, I take this book, put your name on top, you see the way I'll be. So when you have a distributor who you hire to distribute, it's therefore when the distributor buys into your vision, like, this is the next big film. There's a way, when you see the way Film 1 talks about The Tribe Called Judah, you think it's their film, but it's Funke's film. So they partnered with her to go there. They believed in her vision. So you need to find a distributor who believes in your vision, that is ready to tell you, this film is what my distribution was, what my time is, what my... And when they say that, they put their money where their mouth is. When you have a distributor who's not ready to put down their money for you, run away. Run away, because they're going to take advantage of you. So you need to look at first their pedigree, that's what they've done, their track record, what they've done, and look at how they perform, not just any film, but the kind of film you're about to release. Then 2, are they able to buy into their vision? Then the final one is, what kind of legwork do they have? What access do they have? What network do they have? You're doing a distributor who only does Abuja, and you are doing a film for the nation. So if this person has never done national, go find a national distributor. So first is their pedigree, their track record. Second is how much they buy into your vision. The third is how far they can go.
They can go. Interesting. Okay, so we move on to the last chapter of the movie. The book. You don't know, as you're talking now, it's like I'm watching a movie. I don't know. Everything is just centered around a movie. But then the film, is it 12:30?
Yes.
All right. Is that the title of a movie or?
Yes, it's right off a movie.
Okay,
so my first movie I ever tried making in Abuja was more than 15 years ago. And a mentor of mine had called me and said, Chris, let's make a movie together. So we went in, we wrote the story. It was a beautiful story. It was going to be the first dance movie in Nigeria. It was going to be the first movie shot with a DSLR in the world. It was going to be a lot. We gotten our DP from Germany, gotten our sound guy from Senegal. We were living the life. The budget was massive. We had gotten 1/3 of the budget. We were hoping to get more. But the mistake we made was when we got the 1/3 of the budget, we believed more would come. And we went shooting, spending, and we ran out of money. And by the time we ran out of money, we went into debt, bad debt, that even, when you owe your pastor, your brother, your mother, that's a good place to be as in Nigeria.
Whoa.
So the film couldn't finish. By the time we came out and tried to find our lives back together and came back to continue the film, was a film about coming of age and young adults. Whether we found the money, they were grown. The little girl had grown body parts. The boy had grown facial hair. The film was in disarray. Till today, it's not finished.
Can you imagine?
And, people have their different ways of being depressed. I think I slipped into a condition where I doubted my capacity as a person, but what I think God helped me to do was to begin to learn a lesson from everything that happened. So I saw everything that failed in that film, and literally began to channel and began to design the way I see filmmaking process. So I can even tell you that this entire book was written from majorly the failures of that film and how it inspired me to now make successful films like Learning Curves, Make a Move, Living in Bondage, and Call all these films we're mentioning today. But 12:30 still stays as a nucleus in my story because that is where the desire to make good films of quality, regardless how much was spent. If you give me, how you know a good cook is if you give the cook 10 naira, 10,000, 10 million, the soup will still taste sweet. So I wanted to be that filmmaker who, regardless the kind of film I've made, I made the film last year for less than 20% of how much we made Living in Bondage. And the film still got multiple nominations on the AMVCA.
Oh, wow.
And people don't realize that it's not about the cost of production for Chris. This guy just knows how to tell a good story. That, for me, was so fulfilling. The film didn't win any award in that story, but the fact that it was nominated with films that were 10 times his budget, for me, was so fulfilling for me as a person. I said, this is what I wanted to achieve. So when I sat in my room in Lugbe saying, I want to feel my life, and Lalo kicked me out, girlfriend warned me if I don't change my ways, she'll find another boyfriend, I had to make a decision to refocus my life and take my mind off cash to value. And so that book reinvented and redefined how I saw filmmaking.
It's funny enough, as I'm listening to you review this book, I just realized that this can apply to every other area of your life.
People say that to me.
It's not just about the film industry, it's about every endeavor you want to get into. This comes in handy. So I would recommend that everyone gets this book, just have a copy, read it, and see what it will do to your mindset, because it has the power to change the way you view things and how you approach that thing that you're doing. So right now I see a lot of you trying to call in. You can also send in your messages. If you have questions you want Chris to answer, please, he's here. We'll be having that for another maybe 10 minutes before I let him go. So quickly call 0700 951 0000 and 080 9597 4869. Sending your comments, your thoughts, your questions on the WhatsApp portal. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Your guest in the studio. My name is Dr. Zil from Lifetime.
Welcome, Doctor.
Yeah. Before I say what I want to say, the other day, yesterday or day before yesterday, concerning the adoption assistance.
Yes, sir, I've seen your message, sir. I've seen your message.
Okay.
Yes, I've seen it, yeah.
It's all right. Yeah. Now, I want to really appreciate Mr. Chris. Well done, sir. I listen to you professionally because I'm also a prolific writer and I've written books as well. And I try to pay attention to, though in your line of profession, but at the same time, just like Swat rightly said, we can also relate it to other areas of life, which is very good. And from listening to you, I appreciate the fact that you are highly educated in what you do, and you try to relate it to life, and you are practical. So I would love to have the book myself and also see what I can learn from it, because personally, as a writer, as a proofreader, I also try to learn from others. So well done and kudos to you. But in any way, because as a writer, I also believe that we may be needed in one way or the other. If you need us, we will be at your service, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Well noted.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if I should say this book is actually available online at chrisodeh.com/books.
Okay.
So you can go there, click, and order online, and it will be delivered to you. Like I said to you today, Big Mo bought a copy, and we brought a copy for you today.
Okay.
But also, it's going to be available on Amazon for people that live outside Nigeria, so they can order, and you can go to them anywhere in the world. But we also do book tours. We're doing right now. I'm trying to see I can touch base with all of the people who want to see the book. So on Saturday next week, that's 8 days from today, we're doing a book tour somewhere in Wuse. I'll post it on my page so they can see it. So you can come there and buy a copy there and also get a signed copy from me.
All right. Papa Shinamite from Gida Mango said our background and circumstances may have influenced who we are, but we are responsible for who we become. I'm enjoying my mentor, Sir Chris Odeh, inspiration in the studio. God bless Nigeria and long live Nigeria. For Papa Shina Mike. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Papa Shina Mike.
All right. And then Hafsat said, good afternoon, Swat and the guests. Well done to our book presenter. Indeed. Thank you so much. Right. 0700 951 0000 and 08095974869. 08099930137. We've been having a couple of issues with our phone lines. This is, like I think since yesterday or so. So basically, people can always reach out though through the WhatsApp portal. So you said Amazon.
So you can buy abroad on Amazon from, I think that'll be from Monday next week.
Monday next week.
But locally, it's already available. We did a pre-order. People bought it cheaper, but now it's on the right price,
Okay.
which is still cheap.
Someone is here. Sorry, is here. Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Good afternoon. You're welcome. What's your name? Okay, sorry. I think that didn't stay. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Hi. Thank you very much. This is MC Swagger Comedy calling you from Pastor.
Your line is not clear. But go ahead. Let's see if we can take your comments. Go ahead.
Can you hear me very well?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I want to thank the woman there for all they have said. I'm from worry and growing up. I watched this movie. I never knew it was a guy who did living in bondage and others he mentioned. They're very interesting things. And right now I'm in Abuja. I'm also an actor and a content creator. I'm a comedian. And I think I want to get that book. And apart from that, if there's anyhow, I see many stories. There are so many stories that need to be told. But people like him are people who are going to channel stories in a good way where they can be monetized to be of benefit to him. And if there's anyhow we can connect on one-on-one. That's just my take. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that. Dropped call. Right. Interesting. So, I mean, we're in an age where there is a whole lot that's happening within that industry. So every other person, they're into Nollywood and all of that. But I think this is important before you delve into that part, because so many people don't like to get mentored, don't like to learn. They just feel, I can't do it. I have the, what do you call it? They call it talent. It's not enough sometimes. It's not enough, honestly. You go mess yourself up. So it's good. I recommend you get this book. Like I said, any other field too you want to, you're thinking of venturing into or you're into already and you want to get more solid base to carry on and keep growing, this will be good for you. The title of the book again is Before You Say Action by Chris Odeh. Okay, so as we begin to round up, let me take on this comment here. Please, Mark, good day. I need the number for the man that talks about... Oh, okay. All right. I'll get back to you on that. Sorry, our phone lines are problematic this afternoon. Let's see if we can take this call. Hello? Hello? Oh, okay. It didn't stay. Right. So, Chris, before you go, or, in conclusion, how would you want to just, capture everything else? Just your final words, before I let you go this afternoon.
First off, thank you for having me here.
You're welcome.
This book, for me, is meant to do two things, or three things. One is to inspire every young filmmaker out there. Mm-hmm. Because my story as a filmmaker it's a grass to grace story. So I started from literally nothing. Having to sell a car or sell something or borrow money from family to start a film. And I've seen it grow into what it's become today. So I think everybody out there should hear this, that you're allowed to start small. But just don't think small, you can grow it. And that's what this book is meant to do. Then the second is also, people want to delve into the film industry, but it's so evasive, so vague, so hard to put the elements together. You want to build a house in Abuja, they will tell you the number of blocks, but in filmmaking it's a bit kind of tricky. So this book is supposed to help you understand the zone so you can now refocus your energy, your finances, and your mind in what you want to do. So film enthusiasts, people that love the film industry, that have been thinking about how to get involved, this book will help you understand that, And thirdly, also, it's people who have made a lot of mistakes and want to learn from my mistakes so they don't have to repeat the mistakes they've made. This book is supposed to give you be like a handbook for you to do that. So we are trying our best to make sure this book gets to everywhere. We're going to Kaduna, to Kano, to Enugu, to Port Harcourt, around the world on a tour, because apart from just selling the book, we also want to have a connection with the people out there.
Yeah.
So look out for our announcements. You can follow me on Instagram and look out for the announcements and participate. Because this book, as much as it's selling and it's really, I just came back from Uganda and it's sold out there, but beyond even making the money which I need money, but I want it to get to every person who needs this hand. I want them to have that book in their hands and have it in the library so they can read and inspire and learn from their mistakes and change. Because Nollywood hires so many people. It's a major employer in Nigeria.
Yes.
But a lot of people are afraid to go into it because of this uncertainty. So if they're certain, you have to hire more people, especially in the country where we need to get more jobs. I am one person out of the labor market.
Yeah.
I'm hiring more people. If there are more people that can be like me, you can hire more people and save this government the embarrassment that we're having right now.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Mr. Chris, for coming over. Really enjoyed, reviewing this book. And I would ensure, I tell as many people as I can about the book, and I will get it out there because people need to read this. That's how
Can I
it's been.
reiterate the email address, the WhatsApp and the website again? thechrisodeh.com.
Okay.
Am I allowed to do that?
You're not actually allowed, though, because it's not a commercial thing, but I would get it to them.
Get the book, so I don't know.
Yes, I will get them. I'll get that to them. I'll get that to them.
I'll follow the rules.
All right. Thank you so much once again for coming. Really appreciate you. And
so much,
congratulations on this again.
Right.
Yes, wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that's how it's been on the book review this week. We'll make it happen another time. But in the meantime, if you're interested in this book, send me the messages and I'll forward the right place that you can get this book, his website, and all the other numbers you guys need to call in case you need it. Thank you once again. Stay with us. I'll be right back after this break.
News. From policies to politics, economies, local and foreign news. We keep you updated on all the happenings. Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
What's your personal perspective to everything talk? Everything talk. Share your live views on the sunny side of the biggest conversations. Weekdays, noon to 3 p.m.
on Nigeria Info 95.1 Abuja.
Let's get into the sunny way of the FCT.
Your Let's Talk station is here to keep you informed.
Sunnyside. 12 to 3 p.m.
Live on 95.1 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.